Hello, hello. We are live with Crow Inquisitors.
Yay!
Season 3, episode 26.
Yeah, yeah, yay!
Yeah, we will have the rest of the cast straggle in as we go, but right now it is Connor, David, and Adam. You're muted, David, if you want to try to say them.
Except for Josh, right?
Yeah, except for Josh. Josh is not going to make it today. So, where we last left our intrepid band of whatever you guys are.
Great question.
Yeah. Cantarius had just made a deal with, apparently this overlay says Casper 2. Gosh. I think this is the last overlay that has Casper. I think it is.
I think Roll20 might be trying to tell us something.
Oh, gosh. No, it's Photoshop. I just haven't changed over, so let me do that. Yeah, so we are here with these three. And like we just finished with that negotiation. The last thing we got was that the Crow Inquisitors are going to disarm themselves basically when they are
Right.
And what was the exact negotiation that happened there between you two? What are the stipulations?
We can have weapons, just not heavy weapons.
I told them they could have sidearms, so things like swords
yeah.
and knives, but no
Right.
weapons of war like spears or halberds or that kind of thing.
Okay, so
Real weapons or crossbows.
So
that kind
I'm
of stuff.
curious,
Yeah.
Theo. What do you do when Cantarius tells you you can't have your trident?
I didn't even think of that.
What?
You would not part an old man from his.
His war trident.
Wouldn't part a young man from his
Can I tell him it's
fishing
my
stick.
It's how I fish.
I mean, we're in the middle
And you
of the
look
desert.
around and you're in the middle of the desert.
You
Also,
definitely could
yeah.
tell me that, but
I was a merchant, or I mean, I was like a fisherman merchant, you know.
As I recall, it's also very clearly not a fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like.
the
holding
jury
on-
stand.
sleep
Nope,
with it. It helps me sleep.
not
at
a
night.
fishing weapon.
Sleep at night. I mean, let's
Yeah,
start
I
there, right?
sleep
Like,
with it at my.
let's start there with that conversation. Cantarius, you're gonna have to tell Theo that he can't have his trident. And let's say you
All
just told him that. Theo, how do you respond?
Okay.
I'd probably just like angrily like kind of like
Stab him with it?
like, stutter. Just kind of like I don't know if I should like I don't know what to do right now because I'm not gonna be like no, but I kind of like don't want to.
Right.
So like
I don't wanna.
you're gonna have to try and take it from
You say that?
me. No, I'd probably be like fine, and then like kind of like hand it over to Cantarius, but like as he tries to like grab it, I like kind of like hold on to it for a second, like he's trying to like tug it away from me.
Yeah. He has to like force it away from you.
Pry it out
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
hand.
I don't think we share any words. It's just kind of a thing of like, and you're like, I'm like,
And then I kind of like mutter to myself, like I could still kill you with my bare hand. Like I could still kill you with my bare hand.
Yeah, I could still
So I,
kill
like,
someone with
kinda
my bare
like-
hands. I guess this
I
is
kind of
right.
like mumble
Whatever.
that. Like it's
What's your brawling?
actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a good at brawling.
but I was just not that I like want to, but I'm just saying like if it
Yeah.
came to that, like if someone tried to attack me, I'd be like yeah, like I'm being like cocky, kind of like yeah.
Well,
I
I mean,
can still fight without.
You're
it.
literally being like that kid who gets the thing taken away from them, and he's like, "Well, it wasn't cool anyway,"
Uh-huh.
right?
I didn't like that toy
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't like that toy anyway.
Exactly. Like
It's
kinda
dumb
like, I
toy.
can fight anyway. Like I could still fight anyway. I don't need it.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I'm fine. I don't need it anyway.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's perfect.
Cool. So, yeah. And so now, like, the way I want to run this now that we've kind of gotten through, like, all of the scenes that had to happen to set up the basis for the campaign, now I want you guys to just be able to do what your characters have beliefs about, right? And so I want to leave it ultimately to you guys. Which of you has a scene that you want to run? What do you want to do? Because right now, the situation we have set up is that the Crow Inquisitors of the Strong, led by Iris, are just going off to do Caspian's bidding off in the desert. And the rest of the Crow Inquisitors are holding up next to White Sea, and you have some downtime. You got supplies from Caspian, so you're good with food. Who has something they want to do?
I mean, I've got two, but I need Ulrich for both of them. So
I kind of want to go after Iris, not in his knowledge, kind of like
just kind of watch him and see what's going on.
Yeah, like for several reasons. Like one, because I want to make sure like nothing happens to him. Like all of a sudden I come out of nowhere, like, oh, he needs to be saved, and then I'll be there.
So
like, watching over him, and also because I want to know like if something fishy's going down or something, or what the real plan is.
The trouble there is that puts you in a different place than everyone else in the game. And so I would rather that Theo didn't do that, but obviously I'm not going to be like, well, if that's what your character would do, then you would do that. But I think what maybe happens first is Theo, like you spend the night, like the strong are gonna go off in the morning, and so you sleep during the night, and I think you have a vivid nightmare about your wife.
Okay.
What's a memory that you had with your wife, like a good happy memory? Tell us what that is. Yeah, tell us what that is and frame the scene. You're dreaming about this.
Probably like wait, a good thing. Not a
good thing.
Okay, so like probably like I don't know exactly where. Probably like us laying like on a hillside, like in the like kind of like dusk, and kind of like we're kind of like both laying like right next to each other, kind of like looking up at the sky, and it's like you could see like stars, but it's the sun's still out. You know what I mean? And we're just kind of like laughing and stuff like that, and then and it's just like a montage of like that day, like we're like walking through like a meadow, and I'm like, she's kind of like, it's like a playful thing where she's kind of like ahead of me and making me chase her. And then,
so I think what happens, Theo, is like she like runs up ahead of you, right? And she's laughing and you're like chasing her, right? When you grab her by the arm and you turn her around, and suddenly it's the face of Narani instead. I mean, she's looking like smirking at you almost. I mean, she says, "You'll never have her back, Theo."
No. And then does she vanish? Almost like it's like.
Yeah. I think the whole hillside around you vanishes, and you're just in complete darkness. You're standing on darkness, like you don't know how you're standing on something solid. But
I see what you mean. Yeah.
What do you do? You're standing in the middle of nothing.
I'd probably just be he'd be like, no, and then just start panicking, and then just start screaming her name, probably.
Yeah. And I think what happens is you hear Narani like mocking you from like around you. She says,
it's like a laugh.
Yeah, like a laugh and stuff. You just change the overlays, Connor. Yeah, it's fine.
I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to mute myself, and I hit Alt D instead of Alt A.
We'll wait until David gets back, and then we'll change him around. You hear him from like mocking from around you. I told you not to let me down, Theo. I told you we had a bargain, and you failed. You abandoned your wife. I offered her freely. This is your fault. You're alone because of you.
He probably mutters kind of just start rambling on about like how he did her bidding, and like she was just taking him on like a wild goose chase. Like because he did like kill like a ton of people for her. He did all these things, and he's just kind of like, I did what you asked. I'm sick of this game. Like I got sick of the game. Like, and then like calling her kind of like a liar and stuff like that. And then like she was never gonna fulfill it, and just rambling on kind of sporadically about all that stuff.
Yeah, and then once you kind of like tire yourself out from screaming, you like blink, you like close your eyes, and then when you open them, there's a little stone in front of you, and there's a falcon on it, and it's like it cocks its head at you.
I reach for my trident and it's not there. Oops. Are you rearranging our videos?
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, he probably like reaches for his trident and realizes it's not there, just because his dream, and also because he doesn't have it or something. And then he just like, kind of like, he probably like shouts at the bird like "speak" or something.
Yeah. And I think the bird says, here, wait. I think I have a thing for this. Test. Nope. Test. The bird says,
My mistress can provide you with what you desire.
Like, how? How could she give me that?
She's already told you. Follow her wishes, and she will give you your wife back.
Probably kill the bird.
I don't have a weapon.
Cantarius just took the weapon from me.
I was just supposed to like grab the bird, you know.
I mean, you just said you had good brawling. If you can't kill a bird, how are you going to kill a person?
Yeah, but how am I going to catch the bird? It can fly.
Yeah. You can do anything in a dream. That means you can fly too. Just kill it.
This is okay.
You know your first mission. Go to Métis. Talk to her. She's the matriarch. She will teach you the ways of Fereshte.
What about the rest of them? Referring to the Crow Inquisitors.
The rest of who?
The Inquisitors. I can't just leave them.
You're not leaving them. They're right here. Métis is just inside the city.
How do I know I can trust you? I couldn't trust any of the other gods.
My mistress has told you this before. You can't. All you have to go on is faith.
And the bird like smiles at you somehow. You're not sure how.
And then I guess he would just be like angry because he's just like confused. He's just like starts like kind of like yelling in anger, just like just like enraged probably.
The bird just laughs as it like flies away, and then you're left in darkness again.
I fly into a rage.
Do you fly into a berserker rage?
Yes.
Into a what?
It's a reference you wouldn't get. Never mind. What do? You're standing in darkness in your dream.
He'd probably like whisper to himself in reference to like speaking to his wife, but you know he doesn't know if she can hear. He's just be like, like, I will get to her. I will get to you. Like I will find you. And then he probably just like falls to his knees and just sits there staring off into the darkness.
Yeah, and then you wake up in a clammy sweat, the sun just peeking up over the horizon as you like look through the flap of your tent.
He probably packs up his stuff and tries. Wait, am I in the city right now?
No, you're right outside the city. The Crow Inquisitors camped outside the city.
He'd probably just pack up his stuff and head into the city.
Yeah,
try it. Like he's gonna do it, and not even tell anyone. He's just gonna go.
Sure. Okay. Cantarius, do you have a thing you want to do right now, or?
I mean, I was just hoping for a scene with Raiden because I haven't been able to do anything with that yet.
Yeah, let's do a scene with Raiden real quick, and then we'll go and pick up with maybe with Caspian real quick, if he has a thing that he wants to do, and then make our way back to Theo. So, Cantarius, you wake up this morning. What does your morning routine usually look like?
Gee whiz. I mean, I'm probably awoken by somebody. No. I think that every morning, somebody comes in to try and wake me at some ungodly hour, and I'm always awake before they come in. So, like, I'm just always awake.
Do you tell someone to wake you up? Like, you have orders for someone to wake you up at this specific time? But
no.
Okay. Well, why would they come in then?
What?
Why would they come in? I mean, who is it? Who does this?
No, like just some of my advisors, or no, like I'm thinking of like it seems like every morning somebody comes in to wake me up because they need my attention to something.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying.
And like not obviously every day, but like usually every once in a while I'm awoken up by somebody.
Times where it seems like that's a common thing that you
yes. And it's like somebody comes in to wake me up, and I'm awake. And it's just kind of thing of, oh, quickly, wake up, Kent. Oh, he's awake. And it's like, why are you awake? And it's like, I just can sleep.
So where's Raiden? Where does Raiden stay now? Does he stay in your tent with you?
I mean, nobody stays in my tent with me. That'd be weird.
All right, I'm just wondering. So it's just like he's apprenticed to you, but he still sleeps wherever he used to sleep, kind of thing.
No, obviously he has a changed position now. He probably sleeps. I mean, what's his name?
Nadimo.
Yeah, Nadimo. He probably sleeps in like a side room to Nadimo's tent, or just a tent next to Nadimo's tent.
Sure. Okay. So who is it who wakes you up this morning, and what do they have to tell you?
Boy. I mean, Nadimo probably comes to wake me up. Or no, one of my like trusted soldiers or commanders or whatever comes and wakes me up and says that they found somebody with weapons and they're not willing to give them up. I'm assuming is the current problem of idiocy in the place here.
Okay. Yeah, so one of the soldiers comes into your tent. What do they call you again? What is your title? Oh no, I'm sorry.
My title is Cantarius.
No, I know it. I remember that they call you.
Right.
Yeah, he the soldier says appointed one.
Oh right, Cantarius. As if to correct him, I say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cantarius. We have a conflict.
Somebody doesn't want to give up their weapons.
Yeah. Yes. They don't.
I walk past him, pat him on the shoulder.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I think the person. So the person who doesn't want to give up their weapons, is So this is the thing. Like the people who are going out into the desert, they're the soldiers that follow Iris. But there's no reason for them, especially because they're going on specifically a military mission, to bring their women and children with them. And so the women and children are just staying with you. One of those includes one of the people who did not go with Iris and is instead staying, but maybe should have. He's I don't remember if we named him or not, but he's Ludwita's husband, the witch that Jared's character had it out with before.
Oh,
the
okay.
husband he threatened with knives or whatever. That guy. Yeah, it's that guy who's not giving up his weapons. So you go over to his tent, and he's standing in front of it, arguing loudly with one of your soldiers. And he's saying, "I don't follow Cantarius's leadership. I'm not under his jurisdiction. Why should I have to give up my weapon?" And he has like this big like sword like strapped to his waist.
Right.
He's holding it protectively.
Do I know the soldier's name?
The soldier's arguing with him.
Yeah.
Well, I think you do. His name is
Billy. Glenn.
Carlo.
Glenn. Carlo.
It's Carlos. No.
No, it's Pablo.
Can it be Pablo?
No.
Thank you.
No,
Oh my
Pablo.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Got it. You're dismissed.
He like stops mid sentence, looks at you. He has a point to run.
I like open my mouth to correct him and say
Yeah.
Cantarius, and I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah.
And like I'm one of those guys where everybody kind of knows that it's morning for me, and I don't do well in the morning. I'm in the morning, I'm that guy who's like and like I still do my job and whatnot.
You ever seen
But-
We Were Soldiers? He does that. Like he's like good morning, sir. He's like, I know what day it is. Or, he's like good day, sir. I know what day it is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
And then like just the second time he's like good day, sir. And he's like, what are you, the freaking weatherman now? He's just like always like making like snarky comments like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Like that.
No, I mean I don't think he's ever made a snarky comment in his life, actually.
Cantarius?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Connor, like literally the entire game of Crow
That's
Inquisitors up
been
to this point
me.
has been you.
That's
Well,
been
okay.
me.
But it's been you.
Cantarius hasn't made a joke.
Okay. I think
Cantarius has not made a
I think
single
we
joke.
established at one point that Cantarius makes snarky comments to conversations that he can only hear but not be a part of.
Oh yeah.
Remember? 'Cause he
That's
has a
true.
hearing magic?
Yeah. I feel like he's grown out of that now that he's a leader
Okay.
of a giant group of people.
Yeah, that's fine.
Though I feel like he should have gained a sense of humor then. But I feel like that would be out of place. I feel like that would be great growth for him, but I don't think he actually did that.
That's telling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy, the husband of Ludwig, his name is Vikram.
Right.
And yeah, he like looks at you with a sour face. And he
Ooh.
says, Cantarius. And to another of your Crow Inquisitors, that would be too informal. Right? Like that would be disrespectful to call you Cantarius, even though you want to be called Cantarius.
Right.
But to this, when this guy calls you Cantarius, it's because he does not care for your leadership.
I don't care.
Right.
I genuinely don't. No, he's just like, why won't you hand over your sword?
Because it's mine. You have no right to it.
Right, and what food that you have eaten for the past, how many years has it been? Has been yours. Have I not fed you? Have I not given you the clothes on your back and given you the sword that you wear around your waist right now?
This sword was an heirloom from my father.
I guess I was wrong about one thing.
He just stares you down, doesn't say anything else.
Are you afraid I won't give it back?
I'm not afraid of you or anyone that follows
Then
you.
I have not been doing my job. Hand me your sword for the good of this people.
No.
Do you know what it means to defy me?
I know what you think it means to defy you.
Intimidation roll.
I know what I think. What you think of it? It's like
Thank you, David.
You guys just like stare and nod at each other.
What's the
For an intimidation? I mean, it's always his
Yeah.
will. So I don't make a character sheet for this guy, but I think his will is probably 4. Just
Can I factor in rule of the law and command?
Yep.
Okay, and what did you say the ob was?
4.
4.
Nice.
All right.
What does that look like when you intimidate the crap out of this guy?
I mean, I just ask him what it means to defy me. That's my intimidation.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what it means to defy me?
Yeah, and I think he says that originally, right? Like he says, "I know what you think it means to defy you."
Right.
And then you just stare at him.
Yep.
It's a very long staring contest. And
Really?
then finally he blinks, and he just grabs his sword, unbuckles it, and just hands it to you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Now, make sure that this man is fed. He is a part of our family after all. Unless, of course, you've changed your mind about what you will and will not take. Or what is, unless you've changed your mind about what you prefer to be yours and what is everybody else's.
He just turns away, goes back into his tent. Not
Food
like,
for the man, then.
Yeah. And it wasn't like petulantly or anything. It was just like
Right.
demurely, like
Right.
walks away. Cool. Yeah, so you want to go talk to Raiden?
Can Raiden have been by my side then?
Yeah. So I mean, well, I don't think Raiden was by your side necessarily. I think Raiden's like watching from like a couple feet away. He's with a couple of other people, Nadimo among them, who's like just watching, who watched the exchange. And
Right.
Yeah, you like look at Nadimo, he just gives you a nod.
Right. All right. Well.
Do you want to go talk to Raiden then?
What business would I have to attend to? Like, how much of this can I say that I do have people that are like taking care of specific parts of the camp, but they run important things by me, kind of a deal?
No, yeah, of course. Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have to do any sort of day-to-day administration.
Okay, yeah.
Until we get to a role like, last week's role, which was to buy all the supplies and all that stuff, like that sort of thing, the major things,
Right.
the lifestyle roles as they were. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know what I would be doing then. Like my
That's the
job
thing,
would
right?
entail me doing something.
No, right. That's the thing. Like you can frame yourself. This is the thing. We don't have to actually play out anything
Right.
except the things that you want us to, right? And you can frame this.
No. I'm just trying to think of what
you would be doing.
I'm just looking for ideas. Yeah. Like what the heck would I be doing?
The main thing you do is you make the decisions and you judge disputes.
Right.
So there could be like a list of disputes that are kind of like minor that you haven't gotten to yet.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. How about This is catch-up work now that we're finally settled.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have Raiden with me, and he just hangs out with me. I'm gonna say, he just always is by my side because I'm redeeming him. So we're just sitting in silence. I mean, scene opens up, and I'm just looking at different reports of disputes and different things.
I think Nadimo, just tells you like there was a minor theft the other day. I know that you have a backlog, but that might be something to look into.
Yes.
He like hands you a parchment.
Nadimo, I would like to look over the disputes by myself today.
By yourself? He like looks at Raiden.
Well, kind of by myself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Raiden looks up at you and like pales.
I'm not sure why you're afraid, but Nadimo, you can still leave.
Yeah, Nadimo nods and he says, "Well, I'll go find something else to take my attention then. Good luck."
Nadimo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course. He goes off. Raiden just like looks at you uncomfortably.
How are you feeling?
Asking about his castration.
Yep.
His face turns a little green, but he didn't say anything.
I've always thought that perhaps, well, despite the pain, you might feel free. Never mind then.
That was disturbing. He doesn't trust himself to say anything.
Right. I noticed that you've been seeing that girl again.
Has he?
The one who spoke for you?
I mean, I didn't say that happened.
I know.
Okay. He looks at you, and he goes pale again, and he shakes his head. He's like, I have not appointed one.
Mm-hmm. How is she?
He looks at you with a little twinge of anger. How should I know?
Mm-hmm. Did you expect me to believe that you're telling the truth here?
Doesn't answer you.
I would much prefer that these conversations were, what's the word? Honest? Yes, that's the word. I'm still like looking over different papers, like half paying attention.
She attempted to see me, and I turned her down.
I know, Nadimo told me so. I wanted to hear you say it. I wanted to see what your reaction would be.
I understand my crime. I understand my punishment. He doesn't look happy about it, but
Right.
he understands.
Well, that's all I can ask then.
So you want to go check out that minor theft?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Mine's the culprit. Off with his head.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, Connor. Like, how do you want to frame this so that you can make a test to redeem Raiden? Right. Like, what are you trying to aim for here?
Boy, I have no idea.
Like, what is your
instruction?
Right. Like, what is your first lesson in that sense?
Oh boy, I have no idea.
We can skip to someone else then, if you want to. You can think about it and come back to it.
I'm thinking it's going to end up being an intimidation check.
Probably.
Real shocker.
I'm kidding. Obviously.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm
It'd probably end up being a philosophy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather that I told him what the right thing would be to do, and then he did it on his own. Yeah.
Okay. So you get to this little dispute here. Well, how do you usually handle these things? Do you go to the tent of the person wronged? Do you go to the tent of the person accused?
Honestly, I don't know. It depends on how big this place is. If it would take me, if it isn't feasible that I would know where everybody lives, then I would tell my soldiers to bring them to me.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most likely. Because you don't. The tent, it's a tent camp, right? So it moves around,
right?
Like,
right.
It wouldn't be possible.
You'd think that everybody would just stay in the same place.
Well, I mean, maybe relatively, right? But it's not a perfect thing. And then people just decide,
it should be. It's my camp.
Okay.
Everything should be perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So the soldiers bring them to you. Bring them to your tent. So the culprit is the accused is Luduita, the witch wife.
Of course. What is wrong with this family?
And the person who is accusing them is a brave little young man named Jeb.
Jeb?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know Jeb.
Watch it without me.
Jeb was recruited by Alphonse back in the first days of this cult. He was a street urchin. Actually, I think it's the other way around. Luduita is accusing Jeb.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. And yeah, Jeb was a street urchin. He was, let's see, I believe he was 12 or so when he was recruited into the camp, but he ended up coming with you guys to the desert, along with his friends Flu and Ramus. Those three are like a inseparable pair of like teen boys that they're good natured, but they're still teenagers and so they get into trouble sometimes.
Right.
But so yeah, Jeb was accused by Luduita of stealing some of her alchemical like apothecary sort of things.
Right.
And so yeah, I mean we cut to the scene of her like explaining this to you, and she says, "This rat snuck into my tent yesterday when I was out getting water, and well, wouldn't you know it, it denied the entire thing when I brought it up to him. My husband saw him enter the tent, though."
Right. Your husband is also the man who refused to give up his sword for the good of the rest of the people today, so I probably don't say that. I think that, though. Yeah. He says that, and he says, you stupid, unworthy, pathetic little witch that does nothing for the good of this society. And then it like goes back. Cantarius? sorry, what did you say again?
Yeah. I think Jeb just kind of like looks up like embarrassed at you. And when he shakes his head, he's like, Cantarius, sir, I was in the tent. But I didn't steal anything, I promise.
What were you doing in the tent then?
Trying to think of what he'd say. And I think he like takes a big. That was the silence that ensued.
He was making out with a girl.
Right.
No, that was the silence that ensued. Right. He was silent that long, and then he swallows, and he says, "I was taking back something that she stole from me, Cantarius, sir. And Ludwetta like looks at him with like shock, and she's like, "How dare you? How dare you?"
Who's the girl?
Ludwetta, the witch that Jared had trouble with.
Oh.
Well, Jeb, did you bring this up to us when you had realized that she had stolen it, or did you take matters into your own hands? Because that is a crime itself.
It's a crime to steal back something, and it's a crime to take back what's yours, Cantarius, sir?
No, it is a crime to go behind the rule of the land in order to bring justice to yourself.
Oh man, that doesn't sound familiar at all.
What?
Like the only thing we ever do always.
Well, yeah.
Jeb like looks confused, and he says, "I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, sir. I wanted my things back."
That's great. I understand you weren't trying to be disrespectful. You know the law. Why do you not follow it?
Yes, he does know the law, Cantarius, and you, of all people, should know that this rat is lying. I did not steal anything of his.
Right. Do any of you actually have any proof? Or any actual good reason to believe or suggest such a thing?
Ludwetta looks kind of confused by the string of words that just happened, but she says, as I said, my husband, Vikam, saw the rat going into my tent. Now,
right.
whether the urchin himself has any proof of me stealing into his tent.
And what is missing? What could Jeb possibly have to steal from you for a reason? Like, what in the world is Jeb trying to steal from you? Like, what is gone? And why Jeb?
He heard that I make love charms.
Oh my goodness. What?
And Jeb looks at you and he says, "She's a lying cheat. I do not need a love charm."
Need a love charm for whom?
I don't need a love charm for any. And then she like puts her hand in his face and she's like, "My daughter, Cantarius."
Oh, please don't tell me you have a daughter.
You know that she does.
There are more of you. No. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, she has like a 15-year-old daughter.
Oh, gee, how old is Jeb?
14.
Ooh, gee. Gee whiz, Alphonse, why did you hire a 13-year-old kid?
He was 12.
Okay.
That makes it better.
Yeah. More innocent.
Well. So the love charm is missing.
The love charm is missing.
And how many of these do you have? And how often do you count them? And how long did you spend looking for it before you decided that Jeb was the one that stole it?
What was the first question?
How many of these love charms are there? And how often do you count them? And how long did you spend looking for it before you decided that Jeb had stolen it?
I don't keep a stock of them around. I make them as I need them.
So it could be that this is all just a misunderstanding. I just want to hear you say it. I just want to hear you have some sort of compassion for this small child.
Cantarius, I made one love charm this week. It is gone. Jeb was seen stealing into my tent, and now I don't have a love charm.
Okay, and where and Jeb, what did she steal from you? And I assume she like shoots me a
Yeah.
and I'm like allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he swallows again, and he says, "A love charm, sir. She stole my love charm."
The one you just said you didn't need.
And he's like, "I know what you're thinking. I listen. It was a love charm given to me by a girl back in the city. I just keep it as a.
Do you have it back?
Yes, I do. It's in my tent."
Show me.
And like, yeah, we cut to the tent. He digs in his little trunk. And he pulls out this little love charm, and it's like, Theo, Adam, tell me what this love charm looks like. What do Serrano love charms look like?
Wait, I didn't make this love charm, did I?
No, you didn't. I just.
Adam's like, wait a second.
What do you think?
Do you mean like the love charm itself, or what does it do?
The love charm itself, like, what does it look like? What is it made of? Like, it's like some sort of little like charm thing. Is like is it like a bracelet? Is it a little amulet? Like,
I'd say it's more like a medallion.
Yeah, a little medallion. Okay.
Probably,
yeah. So
it's like a medallion, and I'd say it has like ancient symbols like around the edges, and then it has like this like infinity symbol because it represents like a strong like like an infinite love kind of like thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like it just symbolizes how strong it is.
Yeah, it doesn't look very like fancy, Cantarius. It's like it looks like hastily scratched. It's made of like copper, so it's not like super valuable. But yeah, it has a little bead necklace. It's connected to this little like.
Do I recognize the handiwork?
Disc medallion. I don't know if you have a skill for that.
No, do I recognize like that it's hers? Like I'm sure I've seen her work before.
I mean, if she makes them, you might have seen them. Presumably, there's more than one lying around if she makes them.
Exactly.
Because she's not going to sell them to anybody else, probably.
I mean, like,
camp.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess it might sell them to talents who passed or whatever. But.
Well.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know who would buy these though. Crap.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if you know exactly. I mean, I think. I don't think it looks familiar to you.
Okay. How important is this to the both of you?
Ludueta says, as important as any property stolen from a rightful owner is.
And if I compensated you for it, would this whole ordeal be over? No harm done?
Why, yes, of course. It isn't about the love charm itself. I do not need a love charm. I just need my, I need the value of my property returned to me.
Oh, boy. This woman. Just bear for it. I don't care. It's to the point where both of them are just being buttholes. And if I just pay the stupid lady, then everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, so she looks smugly as you, like, put some coins in your hand. At, like, Jeb.
Right.
And I think, like,
Now, you know the truth. Both of you know what actually happened. And I hope that somewhere in your heart, you realize that making such a fuss for such a little object is quite foolish.
Neither of them say anything.
And I hope you feel very guilty for a waste of my morning. Thank you very much.
To just leave.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're walking for a little bit, And Raiden looks at you and he says, "What in the abyss was that?"
That was the politics of social life in a desert camp.
And he just like,
You'd think that now that we're at a city where we can actually do things instead of being bored in the wilderness, they'd have found something more important to do with their time. Clearly, they enjoy themselves too much. Who do you think was telling the truth?
I'm tempted to say Jeb, but that's only because I don't like Ludwig at all.
And it's also because you sympathize with his point of view since he is a young boy, and you are also, a young man. How old is Raiden?
I'm sure we established that. I think he's like 20-something.
Okay.
Yeah, he just looks troubled.
Right.
Did you want to like try to teach him something or tell him something now?
What's on your mind?
Nothing.
Speak.
Everything. It's not my place to say.
Well, I'm saying it's your place to say, because it is my place to say that it is your place to say.
Well, how about I hate you, Cantarius? Is that good enough for you?
Actually, yes, that actually sheds quite a bit of light on things. Thank you. Boy. And what has brought about this hatred?
He looks at you like, come on. You know.
Now tell me, if I had had nothing to do with such a thing, but I had still held to the same principles, would you still hate me? Or do you only hate me because I held my principles up to you?
I think you know the answer to that question as well, Cantarius.
I'd much rather hear you speak it. I terribly hate to assume things. It's no different than the petty social politics that we saw earlier.
I hate you because I have to. Because I have no one else in the world to hate, except for myself. And I'm not sure I could bring myself to do that quite yet.
Well, I hope in time you don't have to hate yourself. I hope in time you hate yourself just long enough to change.
That sounds like philosophy.
Alright, well, I'm gonna fork in.
Well, okay, so what's your intent here?
Brawling.
What?
I'm going to punch him in the face.
Well, what's your intent here? What do you wanna get him to do?
I mean, I want to get him to think about his life and make better decisions.
Okay, yeah, make a philosophy test.
Okay, can I fork in rule of law?
He doesn't want to sell death sticks.
I don't think so.
Can I fork in command?
Are you commanding him to do something? I didn't think so.
That's what I get for trying to do the right thing.
I think you could fork an oratory. It was kind of flowery.
Well, that requires it to be a crowd, doesn't it?
No, not to just fork it in. To use it as the skill he does, but because the speaking, okay. knowing about oratory helps you in any sort of speaking situation.
What is my
Okay, I guess.
That's what Adam treated it as.
When?
What's my ob?
Anytime that what's his name, Basil, in the first thing did anything,
I don't.
he could
remember that.
frickin'.
That's fine.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you say? Let me look.
I'm sorry. What's going on? I missed it.
Yeah,
Something about a love charm. I don't know.
Oh, it was unimportant.
Okay.
Schofield, what's the ob?
Ob 2.
How?
You failed?
How?
Oh my goodness.
0 successes.
I literally don't understand.
This game cheats, I swear. Maybe like ob 1 and then you lose. You're like, what? You have like 6. Like.
I mean, probability dictates that it's possible.
I think it's a little rigged. It's not.
It's not. It's definitely
The coding
not.
is wrong.
It's not.
I swear it is.
No,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
absolutely not.
You were rigged.
What?
Your code.
The only weird thing about the coding is that it can somehow generate the same roll like 8 times in a row. That's weird. Otherwise, I mean, like statistically, it doesn't seem to make it averages out. I'm sure, but it's weird where you'll be like, you roll a 4 and a 1 and a 2, then you roll a 4 and 1 and a 2, then you roll a 4 and a 1 and a 2, and you're like, okay, this isn't random. What are you doing? Like, no.
I think.
Yeah.
Where's my leprechaun?
So, like, literally,
What's going
that's
on?
just our human proclivity to see patterns where there are none.
I mean, that's a pattern. It's not where there are none.
It's kind of.
Ooh.
No, as in a meaningful pattern where there is none.
Ooh.
I mean, it's meaningful because it keeps
Ooh.
making me fail.
It means that I
It means
fail.
something to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I mean, so I think what happens, right, is he just shakes his head, and you just say the words just slide right off him. He doesn't care.
Like a duck.
Yep. It's actually like a duck.
Perfect.
And with that, let's go ahead and take our first break. You want me to come
Actually,
back?
I'm going to spend a D's point.
What?
What? Do not do
No.
that. That is a waste of time. Okay.
On philosophy?
Yeah, this guy's.
I mean, you
this
could roll
guy's
intimidation
future means everything
instead.
to me. Can I?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, what would be my goal there? I want him to make the right decision. Can I intimidate him into making himself into a better person? Is that even
You
possible?
could probably intimidate him into hating himself.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Hey, you're the one who said you got to do it.
well,
For a little
yeah,
while.
yeah. That's just basic human psychology. He has to accept his responsibility in the matter. I don't
That's a lot different than hating yourself. You could probably convince him of that without making him hate himself.
No, I refuse.
I
It is
mean,
the only way.
If you want this redemption thing to fail miserably, that's on you. I mean, that's
Hey,
fine
no.
with me. I don't care.
Hey, no.
You're a rock star.
All-star. Get your game on. Yes.
Oh,
What?
is it All Star?
It's All-Star
What
first,
would
and then
taking
Rockstar.
responsibility be without deep, wretched mourning and guilt for
Wisdom.
what he has done?
Anyway, we'll be right back.
Yeah,
with
moving on.
more Brain
Actually, he's got me there.